morning, Facebook! Okay, so here we are. I'm really excited because, first of all, it's Tuesday. It's a Tuesday that feels like a Monday, which should be a bad thing because Tuesday is the worst day of the week, and Monday is also a pretty bad day because it's the first day back after the weekend. But that means we're 20% closer to the weekend again than we normally would be. Second of all, we were having some major issues this morning with our network, and the network is back up. Thank goodness. Because, A, I was getting sick of using data on my phone and only looking at my phone for internet. I couldn't get online with the computer. And, you know, as much as I love that convenience of being able to go on the internet anywhere at any time, the screen is small. It's a wee tiny little iPhone SE screen. And, well, we'll get more into detail with this after the Daily Dish. Serena Williams gave birth to a baby girl on Friday, her first child with fiancé Alexis Ohanian, who incidentally is the co-founder of Reddit, and it's a good time of year for celebrity babies. Prince William and Kate Middleton are expecting another one. They already have a 4-year-old named George and a 2-year-old named Charlotte, but gotta keep that royal family populated, right? What would we do without more members of what's basically Britain's more respectable version of the Kardashians? I'll probably take some heat for that, but it's true. I mean, sure, they may be more sophisticated, have a more storied history, and they didn't launch themselves to public prominence by way of a sex tape, but when it really boils down to it, it's a family of wealthy socialites who don't really hold any more power than the public gives them. Well, that and their money. But in all seriousness, if they want to have more babies, more power to them, no disrespect. Danny Trejo, the star of Machete, had an interesting position on stunt work in movies. So here's the backstory. Tom Cruise does a lot of his own stunts for the Mission Impossible movies, and recently he broke his ankle doing one, which halted production on the film. Most people will be like, well, it's cool that he does his own stunts, right? But Danny Trejo took a more pragmatic approach. He said, quote, I know that all the big stars hate me to say this, but I don't want to risk 80 people's jobs just to say I got big huevos on The Tonight Show, because that's what happens. I think a big star just sprained an ankle doing a stunt, and 80 or 180 people are out of a job. We have stunt people who do that stuff. Now, personally, I always found it kind of lame that most actors don't do their own stunts, but when you put it that way, having stunt people is more of a public service by way of creating jobs than anything else. John Legend and Chrissy Teigen are one of America's most beloved celebrity couples, but there was a time when they almost weren't. They got married in 2013, they've been together for the better part of a decade, but at one point, John almost dumped Chrissy. He said, quote, I was really stressed and busy. I was just like, I'd just be happier single right now. And she was like, no. Ah, yes. One of the famous Chrissy Teigen clapbacks. The same type of insurmountable logic and scathing wit she usually exercises on Twitter, and that's paraded around for all to see on BuzzFeed. I mean, if it works on the majority of the internet, no reason for it not to work on John Legend, right? That's the Daily Dish on Gems 96.3.
Billy the Kid in the morning, next.
So, anyway, this...
96.3.
Mike, good gravy. Yeah, so the network was down this morning, and because we had no internet, I didn't even know if I was going to be able to do my live stream of the Daily Dish. And that just would have been bore snore, right? Plus, because the network was down, like I couldn't print. So, you know, I usually print off all my info on the Daily Dish, and I read off the paper as I'm going. And what I was doing earlier for all of my notes and all my show prep and stuff is I had typed it up on my computer. I was actually one of the lucky ones. I actually had internet access from my desk computer. Most people didn't even have that. Like, I didn't have internet access from the computer in here. We didn't have Wi-Fi. So what I did was I typed everything up, and I took it's freaking ghetto style, right? Like, I took a picture. I can't really. All right, well, you can't see it, but I took a picture of my Microsoft Word document, and I was, like, reading, like, squinting to read off my phone as I'm talking about the stuff that's going on here. So it's a joyous occasion that the internet came back, and now I can look at my computer to look things up. I don't have to waste my own data on my phone. I can Snapchat without using data, which is really nice. So, and perhaps most important of all, that means the future of the Bill and Scott Cubicle Show is no longer in jeopardy. 3 hours from now, well, just about 3 hours from now, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and I'm looking forward to when it's not Daylight Savings anymore, so I can go back to saying Eastern Standard Time. We will be putting on another episode of the Bill and Scott Cubicle Show, so come join us Monday through Thursday. This week it's Tuesday through Thursday because we were off yesterday, so we'll see you then. Thanks for tuning in, watching, listening, etc., 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 and goodbye.